Thank you, Brian Kelly, CEO for High Speed Rail. This is the portion of the program where I give you the CEO report, which sort of encapsulates things that we're working on at the staff level, and things we'll be coming back to all of you very shortly on. Before I get into that list, I do want to take a point of personal privilege, if I could. And I just want to say thank you, both to this board, to my staff and colleagues, and actually to members of the public as well, who have expressed to me a lot of support and concern during my health care challenges of the last 9 months. I was without a voice for 6 months, which made my wife incredibly happy. But I am pleased to have a voice back, and just want to say, really from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you for the concern and support over these last several months. And I'm sure you'll get sick of this voice in short order. So thanks again. There are 3 things that I'm looking to cover today. One is work that we've done with our website that really every state agency has had to do recently. I wanted to cover that with the board and make sure you understand where we are and what we're doing in that area. Secondly, I wanted to go through a couple of program or project progress points for you, things that we're working on. We'll be coming back to the board on in September. And then lastly, I want to recognize some employees who have been with us for a while and then who have moved on to other things and recognize their fine work. So let me do that. But first, on the website issue, pursuant to state law, the authority, like all state agencies, is required to certify by July 1st that our website and the documents contained thereon are compliant with the Americans with Disability Act, the ADA. And I'm pleased to report that I made such a certification on that date with reference to our website. As we previewed for you last month with new animations, the authority has launched a new website. The site was unveiled on June 28th, has a new look and feel, improved navigation, and is more mobile friendly for folks who access it with things like cell phone devices and iPads and whatnot. As I also noted, our website is now ADA compliant, which again under the law I had to certify to by July 1st. To make this so, authority staff went through an extensive process of analyzing website data and worked with both our umbrella agency, California State Transportation Agency, and the Governor's Office to ensure that all mandated and highly used documents were remediated, a process to make them ADA compliant, and reposted to the website. Documents that were removed have been archived and can be requested by the public. Our website includes documents that generally fall into 3 of the following categories. The documents are legally required to be posted, the documents are less than 3 years old, or the documents highlight major decisions or help us tell the story of the program and help educate the public about this project. On the site, we currently have all board materials for 2018-19 and all board resolutions going back to 2009. The transparency and accountability page includes a summary of 387 out of the 412 CP change orders to date, with the remainder being incorporated within a week. Other important documents such as our federal grant documentation and important environmental decisions remain accessible on the site. We're not done with this effort. We are still remediating additional documents that will be on our website once that process is completed. And then lastly, we are here to help the public find documents that they're looking for if they can't find them on the website. And I note that the footer of every web page says the following: if you're looking for a particular document not located on the California High Speed Rail Authority website, you may make a request for the document under the Public Records Act. The Public Records Act, we provide a link to that. Or if you have any questions about the website or its content, please contact the authority at info@hsr.ca.gov, and staff is on hand to respond to requests for that information. So again, this is a process that every state agency in California has undergone, and we've done that work as well. And as I said, I was pleased to certify that by July 1st, our website was indeed ADA compliant. On to more direct issues relative to the project and the program itself. First, I want to thank the board. We had a very good conversation about the RFQ, and to me, this is another example of an important and significant step that this board is taking to move forward on the project, and I thank the board for that action. It's also worth noting, and I think the conversation got to this, there's other important work progressing that it's important you all know is underway. Staff is working on the 2 reports requested respectively by the board and the F&A committee in May of 2019. One, of course, is the Central Valley business case. Our financial advisor, KPMG, will write the business case report on the Merced to Bakersfield Early Interim Service Plan that was outlined in the project update report. KPMG will employ its resources as well as the early train operator and authority staff and consultants to produce the independent assessment and report. The report includes many of the elements that were discussed here at the board: a summary of the business case and findings, overview of the program, guiding principles and methodologies used by KPMG in the study, will summarize the business model for interim service and evolution into the full valley-to-valley service. It will also summarize the operational characteristics of the project, including ridership, revenues, and operating costs. We'll summarize and analyze the funding and costs and summarize the results of the economic impact analysis and other benefits. Also, there'll be a lengthy discussion on management and risk management relative to that segment. That report is expected to be completed in time for the September board meeting. Second report is what we call the Southern California Study and Comparative Analysis, which was requested by board member Camacho. The ETO, Deutsche Bahn, will lead a team for the development of a separate study of operations in the Southern California HSR corridor, provide that side-by-side comparison of the Peninsula, Central Valley, and Southern California sections. The ETO will coordinate with rail operators on these segments, the State Transportation Agency and Caltrans, and the study will be conducted in 2 phases: an interim report that will come forward at the September board meeting, and then a more full and final report that will be done in time to advise our 2020 business plan, which we'll be developing in the early part of 2020. Also at the September board meeting, it's going to be a busy meeting. It's scheduled to be in San Jose, and we will be bringing forward for the board's considerations the preferred alternatives for the Merced to San Jose segment and the San Jose to San Francisco segment. As we discussed at last month's board meeting, we released the staff recommendations for the state's preferred alternatives in these 2 Northern California sections of the system. Since releasing the recommendations, our regional staff, led by our regional director, Boris Lipkin, has been leading a comprehensive outreach effort to vet those recommendations with the communities along the route. Staff will bring the recommendations along with this feedback received during the outreach back to the board for direction at our September meeting, and again, we're scheduled to have that meeting in San Jose. This work that's going on in Northern California mirrors the work done in Southern California last fall when the board approved the preferred alternatives for the segment south of Bakersfield, extending all the way to Anaheim, and it provides greater definition of the project and guides the staff's work on the environmental review analysis. So these are important steps, and I'm just want to make sure the board's aware of what we're working on a day-to-day basis and the things we'll be coming forward to you with come September. Okay. And now the fun part of my presentation. Russ Fong, come on up. Do you guys remember Russ? Happy to have my voice back because I'm looking forward to embarrassing Russ. No, just kidding. No, I just wanted to acknowledge the work that Russ has done for this body as the Chief Financial Officer over the last several years. I had the great opportunity to work directly with Russ when I was the Secretary of Transportation, and always trying to keep my eye on what was cooking over here. I always found Russ to be an exemplary public servant, an outstanding Chief Financial Officer, and I was always very pleased with the work he did before I got here, and certainly since I've been here. He did inform me that he was looking for a career change that would enable him to get back to his passion, which is coaching basketball. And I'm a basketball fan myself, and I appreciate that effort. I told Russ, if you want to win games, just put Kelly back in, and you have no problem. And showing what a great coach he is, he politely ignored that suggestion and moved on. But look, I just wanted to again have the opportunity to thank Russ for his commitment to this project, his excellent service to the state of California, and I'm pleased that service will continue in the public forum still as he moves on to the housing community development entity and help solve the state's housing crisis. So no shortage of things to work on, but Russ, I just want to thank you for all the work and really tell you how much I appreciate our friendship. Thank you.
Thank you. I promise my presentation will be shorter than Frank's. I wanted to thank, first of all, the board for your leadership and the ton of hours you put in over the last 6 years. Your commitment is second to none. I do want to call out Mike Rossi and Tom Richards. Through the Finance and Audit Committee, I became a better CFO, and I thank you for that. To Brian and the entire team, I, for one, know how difficult and challenging this project is, and I will tell each and every one of you here that the staff works very hard, very, very hard, and they're very committed. And I just wish the staff the best of luck. And finally, to my financial office team, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for them. So thank you very much. And I wish you the best of luck.
Of course, with that, he gets the ticket to ride for his great service to this organization. Thank you again, Russ.
A very expensive ticket.
Yes, yes.
The price keeps going up.
Mr. Chairman, I'll wrap up. I just want to make one other comment. Well, we couldn't get her up here today. I also want to recognize the departure and the fine work of Michelle Boehm, who worked well for us as our Southern California Regional Director for several years. And in my capacity here as the CEO, I was particularly impressed with the work she did to help ready the community and the board for the decisions that were made on the preferred alternatives in the Southern California area. That was very difficult work, and she coordinated that extraordinarily well, and I want to recognize her for that and tell you that that position is a very important position for this organization, and we are in the interview process now. I have meetings later this week with some potential candidates, and so we're looking to fill that. But again, Michelle did very good work for us, and I was certainly pleased to have her on our team. She's accepted a position with the City of Los Angeles in their transportation department, and I am certain that she will serve them well as she did here. So while she's not here with us today, I do want to recognize her fine work and her commitment to this project. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. And that concludes my CEO report.
Okay.